herself. Generation, slow jams, conversation, late night stimulation, call in, love session, Monday night.
Good evening, everybody. U-Nation Radio family, Morris Media Live. It's your girl, Akila Trinae, and you're tuned in for another episode, show, occasion, situation of Love Sessions. We were out for 2 weeks, so we're excited to be back. So if we are a little rusty, charge it to our being off and not our professionalism. Or you can charge it to our professionalism. It's okay. So tonight we have an awesome show for you. If you've been following us on social media, then you already know that we have a special guest in the building. But we'll get to that in a moment. Love Sessions is intellectual stimulation from 10 p.m. to midnight. Our conversation is devoted to bridging the conversation gap between men and women as a means to combat this war on relationships. Because they're hard and they're difficult and we want to win in the end. So we talk about the stuff that, you know, most of the time people don't necessarily want to talk about. You know, we start that conversation so that you can continue it on your own at home or in the car or wherever you are afar. Did you guys hear those three rhyming words?
You on right now. Skills. I'm feeling it.
I am. So again, I'm your girl Akila Trinae. We're going to introduce the hosts for tonight, and then we're going to jump right into it. So class, is now in session. Charles, hit him.
What up, y'all? What up, radio world? We are live, and if you want to join our conversation, you can reach out at 323-965
293.
Oh, really?
3375.
I'm putting out the whole wrong number. That's the old number. It's disconnected. But all right, so yeah, if you want to join our conversation, then you can reach out to us at 232.
Wait.
Oh, shoot. Why I keep saying the wrong number? I don't know what's going on.
Sorry. Wait. 323. It's on the screen. 293-3375.
It's on the screen too if y'all looking. But yeah, once again, 323
that was
293-3375. All right. Yeah.
Epic fail.
Dang. That was weird. Anywho, shout out to Sugarfoot. I'm gonna pass to my right.
Man, I hope I don't mess up like that, because then I can't say nothing, right? Okay.
So that was just
hey guys, everyone,
double down
how are you?
On my mess up.
Right? So first, I definitely do want to thank our sponsors, starting with Beyond the Hurt by Miss Akila Trinae.
Whoop. Whoop, whoop. Oh, let me just say this. I am actually going to be selling my book at an event that will be on June 24th, I believe. I believe that's a Saturday. So I have to get the flyer so that next week we can show it. But yeah,
nice.
So this summer I'm going to try and be busy getting the book out there and in people's hands and get them reading it, because that's important. Don't buy books for them to just sit and get dusty. You got to read them because it's a great story. Like, if you want to like get away from the TV,
right,
and social media and the internet and all the
stimulate your mind,
and you want to stimulate your mind and read a really good story that's set in Oakland, where the Warriors are currently and consistently being successful, then you want to pick up this.
Way to use them as your platform. Nice way to slide that in there. That was pretty smooth. Okay,
back to you, Sugar.
Right. Because on top of all of that, you can also get her book on Amazon.com or Kuza here. And then we'd like to thank our other sponsor, Dear Azuri. Azuri meaning beauty in Swahili language, which is a movement to encourage women to properly heal from internalized pain and practice healthy communication. You can also reach out on their Instagram at Dear Azuri, or their Facebook, Dear Azuri, or her personal page, which is Tangi Love Yourself Terry. And don't forget to make sure to go like our Facebook page at UNation Radio, or you can keep up with us on Twitter at UNation_radio, or on Instagram at UNation Radio. And then we're going back to Miss Akila, right?
Yeah, come to me.
You got the answer, Sway.
Right. I was like, that's where we got to be.
I don't, but we are now in June, and I don't know what June is for. You know, the month of June.
It's Pride, like Gay Pride.
Oh, Gay Pride.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Black Music Month.
Poetess Goddess.
Right.
Switch it up. Shout out to.
I was like, I don't know what to say after that.
Okay.
little glitch in the Matrix.
Right.
Yeah, Black music. So shout out. And if you're listening right now, I believe that Diddy is on the Jimmy Kimmel show right now as we speak. So,
yeah, but you guys should watch us.
Yeah, watch us. But you could DVR.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
You trying to? Who do you work for right now?
Take 2 chill pills.
Right.
Like I said.
Where are you?
Watch us.
Remix.
Not Diddy. He's not paying us.
You can DVR him later.
You gotta work on that. You gotta work on that.
So you heard of it?
We need Diddy's dollars right here.
All right. So I'm sorry I brought it up because this became this whole shtick of a joke, but trying to say something about Music Month, which I was gonna say. That
you was just working for somebody else for a second. We had to.
Well, shout out to Lauryn Hill and Nas.
Yes, going on tour.
But I was saying there was also there's this movie that's coming out called
Tupac.
Can't Stop.
All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me. That's coming out too. And there's a
16th.
Biggie documentary called Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I seen that.
Oh, you mean the one that Diddy was talking about on the Billboard Awards?
It's real dope.
It looks like a documentary about Diddy.
Well, he's in it.
Yeah, I mean, but the trailer was.
But
like,
it's a real dope documentary.
You saw it?
Yeah, I saw it. You should check it out.
Because I didn't want to see it based on the trailer. I was like, I don't want to see Diddy's life. I'm over it.
All right. Well,
I do want his dollars though.
I do want his dollars.
A lot of people do. That's a part of life. It's a part of the world.
But yeah, so I mentioned Nas and Lauryn Hill because they announced that they're going on a world tour, and the very first concert that I ever went to in life was Nas and Lauryn Hill.
Really?
In 1996.
Oh, and they're making a comeback.
Yeah. So
I gotta go to that.
Cool.
At the LA Bowl, at the Hollywood Bowl.
That's where it's gonna be?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What date is that one? October, right?
The Bay Area is at Concord Pavilion, I think. I want to say.
I think you taking.
Were you there, DJ Reed? I mean, it's not like you was there.
He just remembers where it was.
I remember going with Arvon.
Oh, you were my cousin.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, were you there?
My cousin.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit of a risk. I've seen Lauryn Hill a few times recently, and it's something going on with her like music licensing or something where she can't play like the Miseducation Lauryn Hill. She can do the lyrics, but she can't do like the actual beats.
What?
So everything is remixed.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I
Please
know.
don't make. I don't want to be disappointed. I really wanted to.
Right.
I mean, there's.
Now I'm like.
I don't know. It just if that's
true or not?
No. I've seen it. I'm saying so. It is true, but I'm saying I don't know if she's able to get over that and has something that's changed. By the time the concert comes out, but I've definitely seen her do like a whole entire Miseducation, but nothing but remixed instrumentals that kind of don't sound like the songs.
That's not gonna be cool if that's what
it's not. Everybody gonna be like, wait,
Honestly.
what am I?
Yeah, but she actually could really rap really well still.
Yeah, can you imagine that one album? She had one. I'm not talking about the Unplugged. You know what I mean? But she had that one album that even still today I listen to.
Yep.
And still,
Me too.
You know what I mean? Gives me the same. That was in '96.
Yeah, and
Like, Are you kidding me?
It's pretty legendary, you know, and I really hope that she, you know, if we go there or if anybody goes there, that she's on time, because she's been having a little bit of issues with like being late. If y'all heard?
I heard about that. Somebody was like, I don't know if I should go because Lauryn Hill don't like to arrive on time.
Nas will be there on time, and he got enough catalog to hold it down. He got enough catalog to hold it down for a little bit. So
how late was she that one time? Like over an hour?
4 hours.
Wow.
4 hours.
I dare somebody to be 4 hours and I paid. I need my
4
money
hours.
back now.
4 hours for Lauryn Hill.
4 hours for anybody.
Now, let me tell you, that concert that I went to in '96, like, to be honest, even though it was my first concert, it still hands down is in the top concerts that I've ever been to. Like, it was. I wish
it was. I was only 4 then. I don't think I could have went.
Right.
I don't think I would have been able to go.
That concert was.
That's dope. That is dope. I do also want to talk about the project that I'm starting. Mm-hmm. Since I'm starting my own project, I'm starting a foundation and basketball clinic camp for children with Down syndrome, because I have a baby brother with Down syndrome. So you guys can go find a link on my social media at _Sugarfoot with 2 R's, by the way. But yeah, I have a brother with Down syndrome, so he loves to still play basketball. He's just not competing like his twin brother.
Like, what's the purpose of the organization? And
so
what do you plan to do with the money that you're raising?
So with what I've started now, which is the GoFundMe, is to really help me get started, just to start like getting the logos made and reaching out and getting shirts made and getting everything that can start to represent, getting brochures made, like informational, all of those things.
To get kids to sign up.
So exactly. To be able to start to make flyers, to get photo shoots set up for my brother for stuff like that. And then at the actual foundation, I want it to be somewhere that the parents and the kids can come. Because hearing what my mom went through when she found out, she had to go to like therapy, and there's just different things that she didn't know that she needed to be informed about. So somewhere that they can go to do that, the kids can come play too, and then we'll have a basketball camp for 2 months, then we'll have an actual league for 2 months, and then every 2 months or so we'll raise money for like a different family maybe, or to help with their medicine or different services they might need, something like that. So awesome. That's in the works.
That's awesome. Well, I think that you should support, and anytime that somebody is doing something positive, whether it's for a nonprofit organization, whether it's for a sickness and trying to raise money, or whether it's just for a business that you're trying to start, I think it's extremely important for us African Americans, young people, to support others in their endeavors, and not just because they're in some great need, but if you believe in them and you believe in what they're trying to do, like support. I mean, I guess our best supporters will be those who know us, but how can you expect other people to buy into what you got going on if the people around you, the closest
won't even
people,
do it for you?
Won't even do it for you.
And it can be discouraging. So.
And absolutely,
it can.
You know what I mean? And so what I try to do is support. So anytime I'm sharing something, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, I'm not going to ask anybody to do something I haven't done first. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
So I think that's very important.
It's a good time too, because I remember starting organizations and there was no GoFundMes.
You're right. Or Kickstarter is
and that's another one that I'm actually working on now too. So you're right.
To me, the only thing I would say is I just wouldn't rely on that as much.
Oh, no.
Just as a person that has started things from the ground up, it's like those things are like a bonus almost, in a sense, because you have the access to reach people. But like, I think people, when they see you on the ground running and moving and knocking on doors, I think that encourages people to want to be a part of what you're doing more so too.
Well, that's definitely part of it.
Definitely. I'm definitely learning that every day.
I'm just giving my disclaimer to say, don't just hit like on stuff because that's easy to do.
Like is free. Like is the free.
Yeah, but
share.
At least read about it, share it.
Share it with other people.
Okay.
But I mean, what's $5? What's $2? If every one of your Facebook friends was like, you know what, I'm just gonna donate $1. You know what I mean?
You'd have what you'd have what you need already.
You know, it doesn't have to be a whole lot, but it's a lot of people who think hitting like is support. And I just want you to know that it's not.
Well, with that being
so
said,
I appreciate it.
I actually gave twice on accident, and I told her that was just her blessing. It really,
oh yeah,
yeah.
I thought she meant to do it. I said, "Oh, Akila like me." Wow.
I said, "Wait a minute."
We're gonna hit a break right now, and we're gonna talk about some. I want to shout out.
What we got here?
Huh? Oh, the guests, right? Yeah. So we got Van Lathan. Yeah, so we got Van Lathan coming back. And because Detroit just walked in simultaneously when you were like, who we got here, I'm like, do you want me to say so shout out to Van Lathan. He's one of the people on TMZ Sports, and does a lot of commentating on other podcasts. Shout out to the Brilliant Idiots. And we brought him in here. He's going to give us his perspective on a few different topics, and that's what's coming next. But I want to hit y'all with this West Coast classic from Warren G. I was vibing out to that recently. Warren G and Nate Dogg, Regulators. So that's what it is. Mount up. That was my send off.
Is that going to be your going out?
Mount up. It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume some skirts for the eve, so I could get some phones. Rolling in my ride, chilling all alone.
Just hit the east side of the LBC.
And we're back. And of course, every time we come back, we have
and you see, you
more people on.
Man.
You got to roll into the the shot. There you go.
There you go. A little bit more.
Right, a little bit more. Come on, roll some more.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, black people! I can see you right here. Black people getting together, man.
Right.
Black people getting together.
Family.
That look kind of swole on here.
We grew by 2. Mm-hmm. Goodness gracious. That's what happens in June. Black Music Month. Pride.
All right, so let's do it.
Pride.
This is our young brother Van Lathan. He's part of TMZ Sports, and he pulled up on us today. And shout out to you and just in general, because I seen him at Charlamagne's book signing. Book signing at Barnes and Nobles, and at the Grove recently, and it was real dope, and a lot of good young people, good energy,
good situation out there for sure.
Yeah, and I also heard you on his podcast a few times.
Done that a couple times, yeah.
Brilliant Idiots. I didn't like the last appearance, but it wasn't your fault, per se. It was just like it just was how they kind of worked you in, and I was just like,
it wasn't even appearance. What happened is Charlamagne will text me and then be like, "Yo, we about to call you." So I won't even be ready to be on the podcast. And then they'll call me and then they'll hit me with something straight off the cuff right away, and I have to just kind of work myself into it. Or he'll just be like, "Hey man, tell me what you tell me last Wednesday." Right.
And that's not necessarily the way you want to come. You want to be kind of mentally.
And the
prepared.
audio was bad. I was walking through the parking lot at TMZ on speakerphone. My mic wasn't working.
Simultaneously being trolled by Andrew.
Which, by the way, they called me, and then the first thing we started talking about wasn't what he wanted. By the time they got me talking about what I was supposed to be talking about, I was so mad at Andrew that I couldn't be the positive black man that I wanted to be on the actual broadcast.
It took character.
Yeah, absolutely. Now
Andrew Schultz says that he was trolling him, saying that he's better via text. He likes text ban better than Twitter ban. But
isn't everyone better on text?
I don't know.
Here's the deal. So I'm on 3 television shows a day, and then everything that I say, people are dissecting. So if you get me on text and we're having a conversation on text, obviously you're going to get an unfiltered version of myself, especially if you're my boy, that might be a little bit more fun. Does that mean that it's any more me? No. But I'm talking about stuff, I'm saying stuff about Beyonce on text that I would not say on the actual show.
Yeah.
So whatever, man. Shout out to Andrew.
Shout out to Schultz with the young Hezzy, and shout out to Charlamagne. And I just want to run this clip right quick because I do want to get your perspective on black privilege. So we're going to talk about him and Charlamagne was on Steve Harvey's show talking about his book. So let's just roll that clip right quick.
This new book is called Black Privilege. What does that mean?
Black privilege, to me, is simply, I feel like it's a privilege to be black. I think a lot of times when we look at white privilege, which is a very real thing, by the way, I think it's something systemic, but I think black privilege is something spiritual. And I feel like if you study your ancestral greatness and you know where you come from, as far as being a black person, you know, being kings and queens in Eastern civilization, then how can you not feel like you're a privileged human being? Plus, God created me who I am. I'm a black man. So why can't I not find privilege in what God designed me to be? Like, I can't let this system make me feel inferior. Like, this system is designed to oppress, you know, certain communities, especially black people. So I can't let them win like that. Like, I just can't. Like, I just can't wake up in the morning and look at somebody and see the color of their skin and say, you know what? They're better than me. Like, God designed them just the same way he designed me. Right. In some cases, he might have designed me better. Yeah. The truth to the matter. So, yeah, I'm going to embrace my privilege that I know God gave me.
Now, one of the producers told me, they said, Steve.
All right, and we back. Clap it up. Can we get I just want to, we gotta clap it up for that black privilege. Because, you know, right now, you got all these, I don't know if you can notice if you're watching us or not, but we're all black people. You know what I'm saying?
Barely.
So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of privilege in the room. But it was just something I wanted to chime in on and get your perspective on because reading the book, I just wanted to see, like, what does it mean to you and how does black privilege, like, affect your life?
I mean, well, first of all, just from having been there when he was sort of thinking about the book, when he was running through several different titles, when everything was kind of kicking around in his mind, knowing how he got to that spot to where he was discussing what black privilege really is empowering your experience, right? Because if you look sort of at our history as black people in America sometimes, the thought is that it started off from such a place of degradation and
what
such
is degradation.
We were so low. Think about like where we were when we first looked up and found ourselves here in America, right? Yeah. We didn't know where we were. We didn't speak the language. We didn't know what we were eating. Everything about it was different, and we were taught from that point on that we were sort of the lowest people in the country, and we were treated as such. And think about what we've overcome and how we've persevered. Yeah. With absolutely zero help, and in most cases, hindrances. In most cases, people trying to stop us from being that. Yeah. So, to me, there's something intrinsically beautiful and powerful about being black. Yeah. And I think that he feels the same way. And the one thing that you can do to a people, especially a people that have so much inside of them, is you can remove their identity from them and make them believe that there's actually something bad about being black. It's interesting that when you put the title out of Black Privilege, you didn't really see that much backlash from mainstream America or white America. You saw a lot of black people going, it's not privilege to be black. Yeah. You saw people going, yo, what do you mean? You think mass incarceration is a privilege? You think, unemployment rates are a privilege? You think all of those things are statistics? They're circumstances. Who you are is more than that. Yeah. And collectively, we're more than that, and we're going to continue to be more. So I think that we're at a point right now in the history of Black America and the present of Black America where we can all look at each other and say, you know what, we've survived. Now it's time to thrive and build. And I think books like that kind of get that conversation started. And and in your personal life, because I feel like, just at least from aesthetically what I see at TMZ, it seems like you are one of the few black faces that are there. But then it's like, is it like, do you, in my experience, sometimes when you're like the one or two black person in the room, but you have, we have culture. You know what I'm saying? We own, like, we
our culture is really pop culture.
Sure.
As far as things that come naturally to you that you like grew up on.
We control the cool, basically.
Yeah, the cool and things like that. And so how is that balance? How is that balance where it's like, yes, I do know who Lil Yachty is or whatever, but don't am I just the guy that's just the go-to guy for all things hip hop or something?
So here's the situation with me. I have the firm belief that wherever I've been placed is exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Okay.
So wherever I'm at, that's where I was supposed to be, and I'm not there by chance. I'm there by divine and universal order, right? So if I'm talking to you about Lil Yachty, that conversation was ordained. It was supposed to happen. So whatever I'm saying to you is information that you need. Okay, so from the moment that I was in at TMZ, and the thing that allows me to speak with authority, even to people on that show or any show that have a different background from me, is that I don't think that my words are hollow. So there was no reason for me to be nervous or no reason for me not to weaponize my experience. And when I say weaponize my experience, I challenge everyone, especially brothers and sisters, to do this. The rarest thing in the world is not a mineral, it's not a diamond, it's a person. The people sitting at this table, you're the only you that will ever exist. There's one of you. There's never been one before, and there will never be one after.
It's deep.
So the way that you look at things, the way that you process things, the way that you deal with things, no one will ever have that again. So wherever you are, why wouldn't you act like you have something rare to bring? Because you actually do.
Yeah.
So whether I'm black, white, green, or purple, when I'm in that room and I'm talking about these guys, I remember when the first time Lil B got a national mention.
Yeah.
On television.
For the curse, right? Something about the curse?
It was even before then. It was the cooking dance.
Oh, okay.
That was like... And
so he was first.
Yeah, right.
He definitely was first.
Right. So it was the cooking dance, and we're on there, and I remember saying that in the room and having them not know what I was talking about, but I didn't feel less powerful then. I felt more. I felt like I was on stuff that they weren't on. Yeah. And I continued to do that until now. When anytime a name is spoken or anytime something happens, they turn and they look at me.
Well, if one prime example is where, and the thing is that watching the show, I'm like, this is, there's certain things where, like you're saying, this is just who you are as a person, right? Because like there was the twerk video of freaking
Lexi Pantera.
Yeah, okay, exactly. Yeah. And everybody thought it was Christina.
They thought it was Christina Milian. I was like, nah, that's the
and
wrong
this is
booty.
Like from across the. This is literally from across the room. And it was literally like that. Like it was like it's like somebody watching something on a laptop. Oh yeah, we're gonna play this video of Christina Milian. Like, nah, that's
the wrong booty. What happened was, shout out to Lexi though. Shout out to Lexi. Yeah, we became friends after that. So
wow.
Our friends.
Tell us about that.
We became friends after that. Right. Shout out to Lexi. But no, and even that, like a lot of people might think that it's creepy to be able to recognize somebody's ass from across the room. But for me,
that's talent.
Exactly.
Wow.
You got an eye for talent.
I think
too many similar traits out here. What's up? But you understand the nuances of who you are.
Right. And for me, it's just who I am. So, and that ended up being a moment. And something else, as far as TMZ concerned, that ended up being a moment, not just for me, but for her too. And like I made a connection with her. Now me and Lil B are super cool. A lot of people on TMZ that have like, that national look is important for them.
Yeah.
So if you're bashful about what it is that you're into or what it is that you like or the part of the culture that you know, you're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting these people that you could be possibly putting on.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs that shine, and everybody needs that, especially from the culture, man. So all of these people that like I know that are in my phone and I'm gonna know from down the road, people I'm just fans of, you gotta shout that out. You gotta bring who you are to whatever situation you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, absolutely, and I appreciate that conversation. But right now, since we're on Love Sessions, we're going to step into some of the love, and we want to get your perspective on some of that. But I want to roll a clip, if you will, from Nina Simone, just a short aspect of it, because this is something, she talks about love and trying to explain love to somebody. And I think it's kind of I just like what she was saying in the clip, and then we'll get into some deeper conversations about relationships. We got the clip?
Yeah, just the audio.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. We're gonna roll it. Nina Simone.
No, you tell me. No. Because I've been talking to you for such a long time.
Just a feeling. It's just a feeling. It's like, how do you tell somebody how it feels to be in love? How are you going to tell anybody who has not been in love how it feels to be in love? You cannot do it to save your life. You can describe things, but you can't tell them. But you know it when it happens. That's what I mean by free. I've had a couple of times on stage when I really felt free. And that's something else. That's really something else. Like like, I'll tell you what freedom is to me. No fear. I mean, really, no fear. If I could have that half of my life, no fear. Lots of children have no fear. That's the closest way, that's the only way I can describe it. That's not all of it, but it is something to really, really feel.
Have you like, no. I've noticed
like a new way of seeing. A new way of seeing.
All right, dope.
Okay, you.
Sorry. Yeah.
Ow.
Okay.
Okay.
So I really love what she was saying about no fear, and I want to see, is there something that you can maybe share with us that keeps you confident?
Keeps me confident. Yeah, I mean, okay, so as far as I mean, fear and love is concerned, well, like fear is actually, in my opinion, the exact opposite of love. Like love is the only thing that really destroys fear, right? If a mother, if your mama, if there's a lion standing right there, your mom is in the room and you're not there, your mom will run from the lion. But if you're there, she attacks the lion, right? She attacks the lion because she loves you, and her love kills her fear. Mm-hmm. And so when you're truly in love with somebody, you're really not afraid of anything except for that person. You know what I mean? Yeah. But as far as like confidence is concerned, there have been definitely times where in my life where I haven't been like super confident.
Yeah. You had a major weight loss.
I had a major weight loss, right?
Did you get the surgery? No.
Did not get the surgery.
I just want to
I didn't get the surgery. I didn't get the surgery.
What kind of privilege is that?
Hey man, shout out to
everybody. I know you didn't get it. I know.
Shout out to everybody who did get it, but I didn't get the surgery. But I think in
could you dunk when you was bigger?
I could. You know what? I could dunk at 275 is the highest weight I've ever dunked at. Okay. But when I was 360, I couldn't even move, dog. But
that would have been impressive.
Wow. That would have been super impressive. You like Shaq if you dunking at 360. But no, so there were definitely times during that point where I wasn't confident. And I think that it was toxic. It hurts, right? Because if you're in a situation, especially in a relationship, you want to go into it with your heart open and you want to go into it giving and receiving from someone, trying to have that reciprocity at all times. But if you don't believe in yourself and you're not confident in yourself, then your relationship really can't grow and blossom, because you're always going to be checking for something to come and interrupt it. But I think that there was a point even before I lost the weight where this is me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And this is my design. This is how I'm put together. So you can either show it to the world or you can hide from it. Yeah. And I think that actually helped me lose the weight, because one thing that gets, when people are trying to change their bodies, one thing that really stops them is along the journey, like your mind has to change before your body does, right? Mm-hmm. So if you start off today and you say, yo, I need to lose 50 pounds, you're not going to lose 50 pounds in 1 week. So you have to see yourself how you want to be way before you get there.
Right.
And if you're not in that mindset, you can't do it. because the first time you break your diet, or if you're working out real hard and you don't see the scale going down, you're gonna stop and go back. But if you change your brain, then you'll get there. And that you actually have to have confidence then, because you have to have confidence in what you're doing. In the process. Yeah. You have to believe in the process. You have to believe that you're going to be something more than what you are, and you have to believe that what you are already is good enough. Everybody, before you can be great, in my opinion, and I'm not saying that I'm great, but before you can be great, you have to believe that who you are right now is good enough. Forget about who you're going to be. Because when you get $100 million, you're just going to be yourself.
Right, with $100 million.
All right? So if you're a crappy person, broke, you're going to be a crappy rich person. So as long as you're changing yourself.
Donald Trump.
Exactly. as long as you're changing yourself and you believe in what it is that you're doing, you're confident in your process, you'll be straight. So that's what had to happen for me.
Is there like women that was in your life when you were like really really big, or I mean, and then it's like, because just so you know, when I did see him at Charlamagne's book reading, he was surrounded by women, beautiful women. I was like, what I'm saying to say is that at a point in your life that wasn't probably happening.
But right? I was just there as a spectator.
I don't know. I don't know.
We don't know that.
But I'm that's what I'm saying. Was there? I don't know, because hey, look at Biggie Smalls and Heavy D and all them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, women like big guys.
Yeah, they're saying there's women like.
I'm gonna be real with you, especially in Louisiana, right? In Louisiana, it wasn't really that big of a deal. You know, it wasn't like I wasn't doing my thing. I was doing my thing.
What is this thing you speak of?
Well, you know,
getting it in.
You're getting it in. Well, you know. But what I will say is, it doesn't matter what type of outside stimulation. I hope y'all don't think that Big was like super comfortable being
big.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like there. I'm sure there are some people, but like you have to. Even if you take him and you look at him, that's a guy that realized that there was a talent inside of him. There was stuff that overcame or was a bigger deal than his outward appearance. But he rapped about how he looked to himself.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And
man, fat and ugly.
Exactly. He rapped about
however,
stay down to the socks. But for me, it just wasn't working, right? It didn't matter what the deal was.
You couldn't be Gucci down to the socks.
I didn't feel good about myself. You know, I like to hoop. I like to be active. I like to not sweat through my clothes on a hot day. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't be cool with it. And so especially when I came out here to LA, because in Louisiana the culture is a little bit different. But when I came out here to LA,
a lot of bit different.
Yeah, I was about to say
it just wasn't working, bro. It was not.
Two different LAs.
And we don't universally cook like that, so everybody ain't just walking around.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I but you just make the sacrifice and you bless up, and then obviously, but to answer your question, yeah, there were girls back in Louisiana that I remember that first time I came back home, because this was still back in the MySpace days, and I wasn't uploading no pictures.
Go back.
Go ahead.
Hold up. What about MySpace? Was it MySpace / Black Planet?
No, I wasn't on Black Planet. I missed Black Planet.
You missed that privilege.
Yeah,
wait, so first, how much weight did you lose?
Let's see, I'm 235 now, so it's like 135 pounds.
Nice. And how long?
The initial weight loss, so when I was out here, I was 360 in Louisiana, and then I lost like 30 pounds. I came out to LA at maybe like 335. I got up to like 350. And in the first year I lost weight, I'd say from about January to September, October of that year, I lost 110 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah. Amen. And it was and I remember I got back home and
they was on you.
People always
who is this?
Right. Yeah, like what?
So they still recognize
that ain't
because I remember my boys like
so you said it's your revenge body.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny because when I flew in,
Chloe at?
I flew in. I told my homeboy Ian, I was like, "Yo, I lost a little bit of weight," and he was like, "Okay, cool." And when I was standing there, I'll never forget when he got out of the car. He looked at me. He was freaking out, and then I didn't tell my mom I was coming home. And so I knocked on the door, and my mom answered the door, And for a second, she didn't know who I was.
Wow. Right.
She was like,
yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But nah, it was
So
girls
you was
that.
keeping it a secret from everybody.
Well, it wasn't the same. I mean, it wasn't like I was like I had a pocket PC. It wasn't like I wasn't.
We had
yeah, it wasn't.
media.
I wasn't Instagram.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't the same. Like you could put pictures up on MySpace and stuff like that, but like people didn't.
You'd have been all up in the gym.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
All you could do is sign a guest book on MySpace.
Working out real hard. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't.
Not to mention the pictures in a Pixel phone probably wouldn't have been that impressive.
Exactly. But at that point, I think there was a couple girls that I had known from back in the day that I got a little bit more friendly with. So, you know.
They always
this friend word. You like to throw that around.
Yeah, perks of the job.
You got a lot of friends.
You know.
It's all right. Friends are cool.
His friends are.
Says Charles.
Now they cool.
You're in
right.
Well, no, come on, man.
Right.
Because we always talk about titles and all that. We could probably get into that because the whole thing is sometimes. You know how people kind of use that title to have a little wiggle room, and then it's like friends, but then it's like, relationships, and you got situationships, and everybody has different set of circumstances, and I always get on him because at one point he says, I don't like titles. But to me, as a guy, when I hear that, I just think you're just trying to run game. You know what I'm saying? You want all...
What kind of guy are you?
Who team you on over there?
I'm on the team.
Hey, it's okay.
This is love sessions. So
it's okay.
So yeah, I'm the old guy that's probably maybe on the hater side, but at the same time, I'm giving the game. This is a whole platform to give some of the inside scoop of the game.
There's nothing wrong with monogamy, relationships, all of that stuff is good. I just think that people need to be more concerned about what's working for them. Like, I think that
see, like now, look.
No,
it's the truth.
But people tend to take that to a whole nother level.
Like,
I know you're here, and my actions show this, but
listen,
it's not what's best for me.
I'm the type of guy who can be and who is in a relationship, one person, and do the whole deal. I'm that type of dude. I'm not like I miss those wild years of slinging it around and doing all of that stuff.
Slinging it around.
So I don't really have those.
Your terminology is great.
You know what I'm saying? You got that kind of energy no more, so it's not that you don't want it.
So it's exactly. It's not that you don't want it, but so I'm not really it. But I do see. And society changes. The idea of a relationship, I don't understand why it has to stay static for a lot of people out there. If I tell my little brothers and them, it's not the same as it was for our parents. By the time my dad got to where I'm at, he had 5 kids.
Well, you better preach.
Yeah.
So
where are you at? How old are you?
I'm 37.
Okay. You're getting kind of old there.
Yeah. I'm not kind of old.
Hey, old is gold.
Yeah, I'm not,
old is gold.
I'm kind of old.
But how'd you say you miss MySpace?
You're not
37 is old.
I'm 34. How'd you miss Black Planet?
Because I wasn't Black Planet
wasn't that thirsty.
No, I'm saying
You don't have to be thirsty to be on Black Planet.
Wait, we had.
I did do a bunch of
other
meetups.
things. You know what we were using? No, we were using in Louisiana. Like I didn't even really know too many people on Black Planet. We had College Club. We had like a couple of other things. I remember
that was probably like pre-Facebook. That's like pre.
It was like
Facebook.
The first one I ever had was that was pre-Facebook. The first thing I ever had was a College Club account. That was the first thing I ever had. And then, but we weren't really.
You don't sit in front of computers like that long.
Yeah, like
and 56K was hell anyway.
Yeah, we weren't really doing it like that. Like the first thing I was on hard. An ex-girlfriend of mine, Ken, was like, have you heard of MySpace? It's like you get to make your whole little webpage, and that's the first thing I really remember doing.
And you didn't even really put a bunch of pictures of yourself on there. You put pictures of other people
music videos,
and you signed guest book.
Top 8. I was blogging on there. So I started blogging.
Okay.
So I was blogging on there. I started blogging on MySpace. So I used it for all kinds of things. Yeah.
And so,
but you were mentioning about the change in relationships, how from time of old, you know, of our parents and parents' to now, how it's different. I don't know if you had a.
Oh well, I mean, I think that well, there are two things. One thing is that just the structure of society changes, right? So there was a point to where for a woman to have worth in society, she had to be married. Mm-hmm. She had to be married because her her value was in being a wife and raising kids. And if that mindset is ingrained into the female part of society, then that's going to affect everything, right? That's going to affect dating. You're going to be less likely to date for fun if your goal is to prove your worth by getting married and having kids. Like when the independence of women happened, they decided they wanted to have fun too, and so really that changed everything.
I told him, bro.
So that makes it okay.
It doesn't make it. It doesn't make it okay.
It just blurs the lines.
It
for
does.
those
Because
who are
I need a concrete.
still in that.
So what are you trying to tell me?
Give me a concrete woman that's defined in one lane. We can give you a concrete.
But there's no defined man, so that's
you get it.
So do you ladies not feel like, to a degree, that the gender roles are kind of like fluid? Like, you don't want
gender fluid.
Yeah, fluidity.
I think it's confusion, and I think it's a mess. I don't think it exists. Absolutely, it's very blurred.
What's confusing?
Where it was a picture of this boy. I'm sorry, a girl who was holding the boy in her arms, like she was cradling him. Is as in, the reverse gender roles.
Now why is that the reverse?
Well, because normally the man would hold up the woman.
But normally the woman would stay at home and not work.
Exactly.
What?
Normally the woman would stay at home and not work.
No, I'm physically talking about she was holding him.
Physically she would be in the house.
If she's strong enough, here's the question: If she's strong enough to hold him, why wouldn't she? I'm asking. I'm not.
No, see, man.
I don't think
because this is where this usually goes.
If he's strong enough to stand on his feet, why would he then opt to be held?
Obviously, he wasn't strong enough for sure.
Why let your wife hold
Okay, can I answer that question? Maybe he just wanted to be held. You know what I'm saying?
Which is not okay.
Maybe he just wanted to be held that day. Maybe that was the day he was feeling. That maybe that time he felt like he was a weekday. He couldn't walk. He wanted somebody to hold him, and she was holding him. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with a woman holding a man, not carrying him.
Here comes the butt.
Okay.
We go.
Yeah, with that, we just we're gonna dive in because I like this conversation and I like I like this exchange, and Van is holding his ground and he's got some points and he's not backing up. He's not just gonna just say whatever is the cool thing to say, which I like. People got their perspectives, you know what I'm saying? And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. We're going to listen to some music, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to ask you about some, more different topics on the love subject. And we're going to go to Kendrick Lamar. Oh, no, that one, he sent something else. Okay, so you went to that. Okay, so all right, now I'm doing it.
Here we go. We're talking about black privilege, folks. So since we're doing it, we represent the brothers for black people. This is Andrew Stone, brother.
2017 new age relationship.
How women want to date.
How people don't.
When you break a little bit, you go. It's gonna be like.
And we are back. You're tuned into Love Sessions on MorrisMediaLive.com. Again, I'm your girl, Akila Trinae, and we have Mr. Van here from TMZ, who is, dropping knowledge, sharing conversation, letting us into his brain a little bit.
Been y'all in our place.
What was that? What did you say?
Put women in their place.
You did say putting women in their place?
I didn't say
Wait a minute. I missed that.
Let's
just speak up. Say it loud and clear.
No.
You three. I didn't name no names.
I don't have a place
I didn't say
to be put
he,
in.
she.
You don't?
I don't have a place to be put in. I'm where I'm at.
You're omnipresent.
Yeah. But we're not gonna touch that one.
Okay, you needed two, motherfucker.
Excuse me?
I don't know. He's mumbling.
Just talking mess. I mean, just say it. Just be outright and forthcoming with it.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I just think it goes.
Go ahead.
Along with what he's saying. I was having this conversation.
So put the phone on you.
Anyway, I was having this conversation and it was about somebody cheated. I can't remember what it was I was watching. Cause I've been watching Second Wives and I've been watching a whole bunch of just reality TV shows. But somebody that was rich cheated, and then so the lady said, even though you take care of me, and you pay everything. Oh, I'm sorry. We were arguing about T.I. and Tiny. Mm-hmm. And Tiny's rebuttal about saying, I spent millions on you. And she's like, oh, well, I don't give you the right to cheat on me, which I agree and I concur.
Which part are you agreeing with? I'm confused.
Well, okay, I saw the clip that you're talking about.
I just said a clip.
It was a clip online. It was a clip online.
Well, I read it, and she said, they got into an argument. She said, you cheated on me. He was like, I spent millions on you. And, she's like, I don't give you the right to, cheat on me. I've done a lot for you, too.
He's paraphrasing the argument.
Right.
No, I'm just trying to...
T.I.
Sorry. Who didn't have the right to cheat on who?
T.I. didn't have the right to cheat on Tiny.
Even though she paid...
He
got it. Okay.
Right.
Got it.
And so... in talking to some friends and women, they was like, yeah, that's right. But I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, because I know a friend that cheated on her boyfriend because another dude was paying her rent, and she would constantly throw that in. He knew about it. She would constantly throw that in her face, like, well, if you was doing better, if you could do what he could do, if you was breaking bread how he was breaking bread, then maybe
that was an excuse. That wasn't.
Unacceptable.
But here's my thing. That wasn't the first time we've heard it or seen it. That's not the first time we've known a woman to either chase a man for finer things or leave a man of not status quo for a higher status quo.
But that guy sounds like he needs to just step up and leave or something.
No. I mean, that wasn't the point. But this is about the nature of how fickle women can be. Because if you don't have, for some women, not all women, you know what I'm saying?
Those are two different women.
Right. Yeah, there were two different women. Right. You know what I'm saying? Along with the statement made from Tiny. So, on one hand, you have a lot of women that will leave you for a higher status quo. But based on the comment that was made, if I don't treat you right or provide you security, because a lot of women look for security. If I don't provide you security, then that'll be grounds and means for you to go look for somebody else, even though you should be able to take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, not that I'm preventing you from going to eat, it's just that I can't take you out to go eat, or you have to spend your money, or you have to meet me halfway. So I don't provide you enough security for you to be comfortable and be at your leisure. If somebody steps in and does that better than me, then that's grounds for you to leave. But if I do that in such a way, overachieving way, whether it's spending millions or you just don't have to work to do something, and a man wants to go and cheat or have something on the side, then he's wrong for that. Although that's grounds for a woman to go.
So
and
what you're
seek
saying
better.
is it doesn't seem like there's no incentive for the dude to really be balling and taking care of everything if he can't do anything on the side. If the other situation exists as well. If right. So this is what I would say to that, because the chick that told him that the chick saying that like you're not doing well enough, so I gotta go get somebody else is obviously kind of crazy. Anytime you have a relationship that's built on something that can crumble, it probably will crumble.
Yeah, now I'm not talking about that one in general, but we talking about the premise of women leaving for more security.
Let me give you this example right here. Let's say that I told you that there was a father that like kept telling his son he was going to come to his baseball game, kept telling his son he was going to come to his baseball game, and then he never came.
Right.
Would you say that guy was a good dad?
No, he's a jerk.
But the son still lives in his house. He still pays for everything.
Right.
So even though you're paying for everything, even though you're providing somebody with security, there's still other promises that you have to keep to that person in order to be a good and positive part of their life. So there's no one thing that you can do for somebody that would absolve you of having to do all kinds of other things. Does T.I. feel like probably that he's doing all of these things so it gives him a little bit more leeway? Yeah, probably he feels that way. And in a very concrete sense, do guys that have more stuff like that probably get away with things? Sure. Is it wrong? Yeah, because you said you wouldn't do it. So if he told her straight up, yo, I'm T.I., I dropped Paper Trail, it was classic.
Well, he wasn't T.I. When they met, he wasn't
T.I.
He wasn't that good.
But she wasn't taking him serious.
Right. What I'm saying is if you tell someone, listen, I'm this type of dude everywhere I go.
Oh yeah, straight up.
Women,
up
front. So I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to take care of my family. But the monogamy thing, I can't do that. I need a little bit more. It's just who I am. And she goes, cool. If 10 years down the road she goes, I don't like the fact that you do that, then that's on her. But if you say, yeah, I'm this big, huge guy and you're the only person for me, and then you don't do it,
right? And I think that's the main part of
you know, I'm not judging T.I. because it must
Just
be
being
hard to be T.I.
Question
But
for
that,
you
but
then.
that's also the
Hey, be
nature
quiet.
of what
I have
they're
a
doing,
question.
though. Go ahead.
Thank you. So, because you mentioned him scenario being honest. So, how do you feel about just people in general, male or female, being honest about who they are and what they are and their situation and their intentions? Do you feel that this is something that people can do, or that is even possible? Or are we really just set in a society where, as you kind of mentioned before, you do what you say, what was comfortable, or what, how did you phrase it? When
I'll be honest with you. I think I know what you asked me. I think that women are allergic to brutal honesty, and I think that they've been socialized to be so. And the reason, like with men, the only thing we respect from one another is absolute brutal honesty, to the point of almost insulting one another for fun.
Right, because y'all go in.
Right.
I've heard
So
it. I'm
the-
like,
the only
dang.
thing, like if you want to know,
That's your boy.
Right,
That's
right.
real.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, dog. She doesn't love you. She's with this dude. Like straight up. I think that women, especially for men, are allergic to it because, once again, I think, and I'm generalizing here, but for the women, I'll say for the women that I've met, they have an idea of the way they want things to be, and they won't even give you a chance to get to know them if they don't think that that's going to be the way that things are.
That's true.
They're not going to even. They're not going to even give you the opportunity to. Maybe they don't even know that what they really want is you instead of what it is that they think that they want. But
which can be possible.
they're not even going to give you that opportunity to do it. So the reason why guys a lot of times end up, at least some of the guys I know, being not genuine versions
So
of
you're
themselves.
excluding yourself from that.
Nah, I mean I've done it in the past.
Okay, I just want you to be
know what
honest.
I mean? But at this point, I'm not gonna lie. At this point, I'm not gonna lie. When I counsel like my younger brothers and guys like that, I'm like, listen, just keep it gangster, 1,000%.
But I don't think that really works.
Oh no! It really works.
I think it would work. I want honesty.
They may step away for a second, but they come back.
Bro, I'm talking.
Could I just say,
just let her think about what you really are and not what you want to sell.
I'm saying you can say certain things, you can lay certain things out, but it's at the same time, it's a difference between what you say and your actions. If you're with somebody every day, going places with them, but you in your mind, you've told them, this is my parameters, I'm not looking for a relationship, but you're doing relationship things with that woman. And
what's a relationship thing?
Okay.
Right.
Okay, what I
Can
just
we
laid out.
not do that? Because be realistic.
Be
real. Because you know. It's coming from another man's side.
He's married.
Okay,
no, that's not the point. Let him finish.
Yeah, all right. So you asked me a question. Let me answer it. So, all right, so cool. You guys are, for example, you got a girl. You guys enjoy each other's company, should I say. You guys are, not saying y'all love each other or whatever y'all haven't said, but from the gate, you're like, hey, this is what I'm about. I'm just got out of a relationship. Whatever the case is, you're like, I'm not looking for a relationship. You make that crystal clear. Boom. Now you move on to dating, quote unquote, meaning y'all going out to dinner. She might stay over.
Exclusive?
Not necessarily exclusive, but
because you've made that known.
Because y'all aren't monogamous, but you guys are spending a lot of time together because once again the premise is you guys enjoy each other's company. So she stays the night. You guys get up for going to breakfast. You know, hey, see you later. She comes over for dinner or something. Oh, she brings. You know what I'm saying? Then you know what I'm saying. And you obviously are sleeping together periodically throughout this whole time. Those are things those are actions that when you accumulate those things, eventually a woman is gonna be like, we're in a relationship, and why is such and such texting you? Why these things? Things.
Okay.
Why aren't you know what I'm saying?
But what does that mean?
Because I'm saying these are your actions. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? Do you get? It's actions versus what you're saying.
I get what you're saying. This is the way I would answer that. I've never been in that situation before, but let's say that I was. I haven't. I haven't been in that situation before because really. Like I told you, I'm not like a G like that. Like I'm like, oh, love you, girl. Like that's like, I'm not like. But this is what I would say. I would say if I was in that situation, I would say, listen, I like having you here. I like having you around. I'm telling you the frame of mind that I'm in right now. If you want me to be around you less, to put a wall in between us, so that you don't think this is something that I told you it wasn't, I can do that. But I'm telling you right now, if I had my way, I will have you here.
And she starts crying.
She said,
and then she says,
my God.
"No, I'm serious."
But the thing is, but your actions are showing too that you want to be around this person. You're spending your time with this person. You're still doing certain things with and for this person.
But I'm also spending my time with other people.
Right. But if you're being honest about it from the gate, it doesn't matter.
And so you're gonna be hard. So she starts crying. You're just like, "Look, I told you what it was."
No, wait. I don't think. But see, here's the deal, though. It's like I really don't think that you have to be that way. I think that and a lot of times if you're in a situation like that, you don't have to come out right away and be like, yo, I like you, I like hanging out with you, but I'm not looking for a girlfriend. When those conversations come up, you just answer the questions honestly. But what you should do in any situation is give the woman the opportunity to make the decision for herself about whether or not she wants to.
I agree.
Which
that way it's on her.
Agree. Do.
That's why it's on her.
No, I'm saying a lot of men do.
But a lot of men do what?
Give women the choice. But this is
they
what
do not.
No, they go from you. Hold on. They go from you to her.
Like
they don't.
They do.
I don't agree.
Nobody's agreeing with you.
Trip this. In today's age, they go from you to him and her. You know what I'm saying? Because they together. They want to court. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, they go from what? You're right. 2017, they go from women to men.
No, I don't know. That too.
I'm trying to follow.
But look,
he said they go from me to him to her.
I'm talking about from standpoint purview, how you guys think. So if somebody told you straight up front what they were, what they wasn't,
right,
you could accept that,
right,
and you could keep it at that until things changed, and
right,
there would have to be a conversation had to understand that things were reestablished.
Right.
That's not them two. They start here at ground zero with you, right? Now, they're going to spend all their time. So let's say Van was talking to you and he told you what it was and what it wasn't. Y'all kicking everything cool, whatever. Every day. You don't take it for nothing different. Now, these two, if they started from ground zero, right? He told them what it was, and they're kicking it and everything is straight. And all of a sudden, they like, dang, I really like this dude. You know what I'm saying? Now, this picture begins to get painted. He's spending his time with me. I like him, and this is where it's supposed to be. You know, we could have beautiful kids together. All the while, no conversation has ever been changed or reestablished to be like, this is what I want over because we've been spending so much time together.
I'm a firm.
Right, because the actions are communicating something that is not. But I know people who have experienced those situations, but at the end of the day, just be honest about what the situation is.
I'm a strictly firm believer. I'm a very firm believer.
That's all I'm saying.
If because our wiring as men are different, our wiring is different, our intentions, our internal intentions are different. If you are sleeping with a woman on a continual basis and she's most likely a certain type of woman that's not just out here in these streets like that, she gonna be like, what's up? Right. At some point, you know what I'm saying?
You just say,
even if you told her what's up 2 months ago, at some point she gonna be like, look, brother.
Can
you get what I'm saying?
And that's fair.
Is that fair to say?
What it is and what it ain't.
Can I have like some real talk with any woman that's listening to this? And this is the reality.
Call in right now.
This is the reality.
323-293-3375.
The one thing about men, most of the men I know, especially like Southern men are decisive. Like most men who are worth their salt are decisive, and they have tunnel vision.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, if there's some guy that's wishy-washy with you about what you're going to be in a situation, there's going to be a girl that's going to come along, and he's going to make a snap decision that he loves her, and he is going to zero in on her, and he's going to put all of his energy and all of his time and all of his effort into it, and before you know it, he's married, 3 kids down the line.
Shout out.
What women, in my opinion, what women need to do is concentrate on their happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, forget about what you thought that it was going to be.
Right.
In the moment, are you happy? Do you feel secure? Do you feel full? Hard mind. If you don't, man, take the pain and get out. Because guarantee you, there's a dude somewhere that would love to be on the phone with you. And I see this all the time. I see this with some of the girls that work at TMZ. I see this with some, to be honest with you, some of the hardest situation as a trying to be a good dude is when your homeboy is in a relationship with a chick.
Homie's a dirtbag.
When your homeboy is in a relationship with a chick and she's freaking out and doing all of this stuff, but you gotta keep it real with your boy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could like be in a vacuum and have a conversation with her, you'd be like, run.
Right, leave.
Yeah. Like you'd be like, I wouldn't. Yeah,
So
you can't
do men tell, like, if
Never.
You can't. That's a lie.
I mean, no. I'm not saying tell the woman, but I'm saying do men tell their friends, like,
sometimes
really?
Yeah.
I be thinking that conversation never happens.
Right,
That it goes the complete opposite.
Oh my God.
Right, like, come on.
No, because
come
you
on.
feel for the girl.
Yeah.
You just like, hey, look, bro. You know what I'm saying? She feels this way. This is and because we know where they stand.
Well, especially like if a woman has she has an expectation in her mind and you know the dude, and you feel like that's never gonna fulfill itself,
right.
And you're like, look, could you just like let her go off and do her? You know what I'm saying?
Like a friend of mine was in a relationship for a very long time, kids, married, all of that stuff like that. I see him popping up, especially when children and stuff like that are involved, and you leave your wife and kids and you go do something like that. You just gotta be like, yo, you wildin'.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna stand in judgment of you. We're friends, and part of having a friend is giving that person access to opinions, right? You have to they get to have an opinion on your life.
So quick question. What is the difference, in your opinion, between having an opinion and being in a position of judgment?
Because if I have an opinion, this is the way it goes. If I have an opinion, if you tell me right now, if you tell me right now, let's say when I was trying to lose weight or something like that, if you see me eat some Popeyes and you go, yo, you said you was trying to lose weight, and I go, chill, I got this. It's over.
Yeah.
If every time I open my mouth to put something in my mouth, you on me about what I'm doing, now I gotta say, yo, mind your, you know what I'm saying, get out of my face.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm not gonna continuously be your dad. I'm not gonna every single time tell you, yo, you wrong, and making you feel like you're less than. But if I see something, especially if there's collateral damage, children, wives, people like that, you wildin', or if you're not being the person that you tell me you want to be, a friend
you're gonna
will
hold them to a certain
friend.
But you're gonna have that conversation one time. You're not gonna.
I might have it one time. We'll get into it deep, and even in the conversation, there's a way that you talk to people.
Right.
You come from a position of love and respect. You don't come from a position of like trying to come down on people. I think sometimes I feel like that's why a lot of women bounce from friend to friend is because. Like women get super judgmental with each other sometimes. At least some of the women I know, and they be like, "Yo," they get super judgmental with it, and we actually judge each other less because we don't really. It's like there's no point because you're gonna catch me down bad once too. Yeah. But only in the most extreme circumstances do you have to be like, "Yo,
you're doing a lot right now."
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like
so most of the time stuff goes. Unaddressed.
You don't want to.
Everybody has
be the one calling
like you said,
black, and you like
people got their own thresholds of their own particular. Everybody is. I'm always say everybody's a king of their own castle. You know what I'm saying? So just like somebody that you might feel, if you feel like you telling your boy, whether it's a relationship or whether it's him drinking, smoking, doing something that's unhealthy for that person's life and family life and all that stuff, at some point. as a friend, especially a good friend, you're gonna step in. Obviously, you know that you obviously aren't the police or whatever, so you're just in there to try to help this person get to a better place, or just to remind this person of, like you said, who they said they are or who they said they want to be, and you just hope that kind of rings true to that person, but at the same time, it still has to be that person that makes that choice. You know what I'm saying?
It's not even sometimes. It's like I had a homeboy that after college started getting in with his cousins and really hustling hard, like hustling for real. Like, and in that situation, I remember one time we was riding down to New Orleans, and he goes, "It's gonna make me sound real square, but this is kind of how I am." He's like, "I gotta make a stop," and I'm like, "Cool." I told him I had no money to be going to New Orleans. He said, "Don't worry about it. I gotta make a stop." And I'm like, "Cool," and he makes a stop, and goes to the glove compartment, boom, pulls out a bunch of crack, goes into a house, bam, bam, bam. And I come out and I'm like, yo, this ain't for me.
Yeah, that ain't square.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's being real.
I'm like, yo, this ain't for me. I'm like, I met this dude the first day of first grade. This is my oldest friend. I'm like, yo, this ain't for me. And I said, and really, to be honest with you, this ain't for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we have a conversation. But do you think that every time I talk to him,
right,
I'm about to be some Joe Clark lean on me? No, it's not every.
So crack, don't you?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna do that every single time.
But is that your boy? Because I always think about like Boys in the Hood, and I got a son, and I think about like having those boys around him when they knew. Like he wanted to get out. He was like, "Let me out the car, man." You know what I'm saying?
Gotta let him out the car.
Let him out the car. And just the same thing where your boy is doing, slanging, and you like, look, this ain't my thing. And him being, if that's like your boy, he know like, you know what, I am wilding out right now. Yeah. I'm doing too much, and this ain't Van's thing. I respect. You know what I'm saying? He respects where you at. You respect where he at. You said your piece, and hopefully
it's harder. It's harder to do with issues. Dealing with women because they've seen you do.
Right. but
like,
you can't tell your boy he wilding if he wilding. You know what I'm saying? And you
have to tell him, right? Because that's the whole point. But I'll say something else about women and the way they should be treated with men. This is the way I look at this. So a lot of times women treat men in relationships like it's a credit card, right? Like you get a credit card and it's credit on it. You haven't paid anything. You use it, even though you haven't paid yet. Mm-hmm. They let the guy just spend and spend and spend and spend and spend and spend and spend, and then when he defaults, they get mad, right? Mm-hmm. You should really treat relationships like a debit card, meaning you should only be able to spend what you've earned.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if there's nothing on the card, he shouldn't be able to spend anything. So nothing that a man earns from you should you give to him. And all my boys will be mad. That is the only way men learn. The only thing that you should let a man do is whatever he's earned. And if he wants it bad enough, he will earn it. He will make the effort. But if you give him something, he'll take it every time.
Right.
100%.
Every single time he'll take it.
And speaking of how men treat women, I wanted to get your perspective. It's 2017, and you're in the dating game, right? At 2017, like a single young black man.
No, I have a girlfriend.
Okay, you got a girlfriend.
I ain't trying to get him in
right?
trouble.
I don't know. So it was a form of a question, and he answered it.
Right.
Move on. So okay, you got a woman.
Right.
So all right, when you are, is this a new relationship? I'm just wondering because I'm just wondering. You at one point you were out here in LA. Mm-hmm. You were in the scene, and then eventually you were on TV and became a face in the scene. So how is that aspect as far as like just dating in general?
All of those things are distractions because here's the deal. Like there's a time when you're on television, right? And it's funny because like a lot of women hit me up like all the time. Mm-hmm. And they're models and they're actresses and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'll tell them straight up, you don't have to flirt with me. Just tell me what you need. Yeah. I'm saying don't try to...
Don't pull that whole va-va-va-boom type thing.
Man, we don't need to go. I don't need to come to hookah.
Right.
I don't need to I don't need to come to the club that you hosting.
Yeah.
You want a shot? tell me when and where I'll send a camera if you popping like that. You need this. We don't need to be friends.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and what made you get to that? Like,
because it's a waste of time. It doesn't.
But I mean, did you have to develop that?
Right.
Yeah.
Wait. He said something key.
Yeah,
it doesn't do anything to get you in trouble.
It's a waste of time. It doesn't get you doing anything in trouble before.
Which I'm saying, you had to step in. You had to get into trouble to kind of learn that.
Yeah,
right?
you have to because it ends up being a situation to where, especially if you're on TV, people will claim you in situations where there's really nothing going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And people they want to be next to you, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not Brad Pitt. I'm not saying like I'm a big celebrity.
No, we get it. We get it.
I'm saying, and so the situation now is, and you can actually have friends that you have mutually beneficial relationships for, but like, to be honest with you, chasing your penis around will mess up a lot of money for you. It will mess up a lot of situations. It will mess up stability. It will mess up a lot of things that you have going on.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be focused, and you need to kind of let some of that. And also, once again, I'm older. Yeah. Let's say that the whole TMZ thing would have jumped off when I was 23 or 24. We probably
that's a whole different man. Right. That's a whole new man.
5-6 kids. You know what I'm saying? But that's not how it happened. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
So exactly, that's not how it happened. By the time I got on TMZ, I was already 31 or 32, and I was looking at it like from my standpoint, I was 31, I think, and from my standpoint, I was looking at it like, yo, I need to make a go of it here.
Yeah,
I need to get it popping here. But and that's not to say that there have been slip ups and I am not a saint.
Yeah.
But
disclaimer.
But I'm just saying.
But you've learned throughout your journey, and you've matured.
Anybody that's getting more attention than what they got before will start to think, do I want a different lifestyle?
This is a Chris Rock situation.
Yeah.
You only have to pay for his options.
Yeah, people will start to think, do I want a different lifestyle? But then, if you right. You want to be focused and you want to be ready for the opportunities that are coming. You don't want to get sidetracked.
Oh, okay. Because I know I'm just thinking about like just the mechanics of dating. Like, when you are like a celebrity in a sense, and people know you, and you want to meet somebody new, and it's like navigating through that dynamic, and also in a sense, when do you start possibly going Dutch, or like how often are you just like expect or looked at like, hey, pay, and or is a girl have women brought you drinks? Do they take you out to lunch?
Here's the deal.
You know what I'm saying?
This is my rule.
Oh man,
for any group situation that I'm in. I'll pay for anything. When everybody goes out, I'll pay for anything unless Charlemagne's there. Then he pays for everything.
You got the rule of if you got more money, whoever has the most.
Whoever the biggest bank at the table is. You know what I'm saying?
That's okay.
So and if Harvey's there, forget about it. Like, he pays for future meals.
You ain't reaching for your wallet.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, like all of that stuff is like whatever. Like you when you get to a certain point, you start being around people that are kind of in your same thing, and everybody, there are no like egos like that on that. But you just have to, because
So it's still to this day with your relationship. Do you always everything? Yeah, everything.
Right. I was like,
I'm just curious. Because seriously,
my dad used to tell this is what my dad raised me. My dad said, he told me this my first date. I was 16. My dad was like, "Where you going?" I was like, "We're going to it's like Copeland's Cheesecake Bistro." It's my first date in Baton Rouge, 1996. And
a lot was going on in 96.
Right.
Great.
1996 gonna be that year.
1996. And he goes, "Now listen, let me give you some money for the date." He goes, "When the check comes, don't even look at it." He was like, "Why?" He's like, "Don't open the check up and go, man, that's a lot. Oh, we got off easy." He's like, "Don't even look at it. Just take the money and put it in there. Don't look at it. You don't want her to see your reaction to it. You want her to feel completely secure with the fact that whatever happens that night, you got it under control. You got the check under control. If the car gets a flat, you got that under control. Whatever, she has to know that whatever happens, you got it."
That's some good advice.
And he goes,
shout out to Mark.
Right?
He goes, the minute that you break, the minute that you look unsure about yourself, or the minute that you look, she's gonna go, Does this dude have it or not? So now for the rest of my life,
that's what you do.
If I can't pay for the meal, we're not going out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I have to worry about it, we're not going out. And I'm not. And there have been times, by the way, where we couldn't go out.
Yeah.
There have been times, can we go out? Like, no, why don't we bake a cake and you come over here and watch something like that? You know what I mean? Because I got
Netflix and chill.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There have been some times, but now it's different. But if you can't, here's the thing: forget about going Dutch, fellas. Rule of thumb: if you can't afford the meal, don't take the girl out. Because you're just making yourself look bad.
Well, I didn't. Well, one of my wife, we went out bowling.
But when you're married, it's also
no. I'm saying no.
Went bowling.
Yeah, that's our first date. Ironically, he's a big time bowler. But all right, so ironically, our first date was at like maybe like Hollywood Bowl or something. But our first date, it was bowling. But it was like we ended up playing a game. It was our first date, but just ended up being my wife. But we played a game, and she was like, "Oh, whoever wins each round buys the other person a round or whatever, right?" And I just thought it was so cool for her just to offer like to buy. We were just exchanging drinks or whatever, right? Yeah. And it was to me a really cool perspective because I'm just so used to like the entitlement aspect of going out on a date. You know, being this guy that goes, takes a woman out, and then you're just like, basically feeling like every single time we decide, every time, like we're dating each other, we're still trying to get to know each other, and then at some point I'm like, we're gonna be in a relationship, and at some point we're going to, maybe you're
gonna want her to pay,
yeah, or maybe maybe you might take me out.
So you come from the school of, I mean, you don't want to pay every time.
Well, it just feels good. I guess it's like that. That two can play that game kind of aspect of like the woman reaching for the wallet, even if she's not necessarily wanting to pay, because obviously it's better if you don't have to pay. But I just think it's really it's telling about a person or a woman when she's like,
what does it tell you?
I could got it. It's more like we're in this together. Like I'm not just because I'm a woman. And
so she doesn't. It tells you. That
no, it just is. I don't know how to explain. Is it a good feeling?
I hear what you're saying.
It's like a good
it's
show
just
of
a matter
fame.
of okay, if I ain't got it, you got me.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying it's not a negative because I've been dating since I was 16 too, and are trying to date. And
you stopped dating a little while ago.
Well. Absolutely, but 10 years ago actually. But leading up to that, yeah, if I was taking a woman out, I had at least I had enough for that date, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and I was taking everything. But when you like I said, it's just that gesture, it's just that mindset.
Just the thought. But see,
let me keep it gangster with you. I never met her. That's dope.
Never had a girl offer to pay.
It's not. Once again,
but
the gender roles where I'm from are clearly defined.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that if first of all what she did was mad cute. That was cute because it's like now that takes so much pressure off of the situation. Now she's cool. She's gonna be cool with a lot of things.
Yeah, it was like you said. It was just a really cool gesture in the sense where there was a different kind of.
I don't think that I don't have any issue with. There are other things that get me a little bit more than the paying for dates. Paying for dates is like whatever. That's like kind of the thing. Like, but there are these issues that pop up on Twitter all the time, and I
speak to me,
and I see these issues. It's like, for example, if a friend of mine, she's on Twitter, she has a problem splitting rent with her man.
Okay.
Now this to me is crazy. Okay,
especially in LA.
If your man is rich, because here's my thing.
Sound like Detroit got it.
Here's my thing.
He's a wise man.
Here's my thing. Like, I'm doing financially pretty well now, right? But there are a lot of guys who aren't, and a lot of times people move. A lot of times people move in together because they need to split rent.
Right.
If you can't even be in a relationship where y'all can split the bills, what are some of the other things y'all can't split?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like if you can't partner up on financially, well, that to me makes it think, why would you? That's backwards to me. Like if you feel like
entitlement.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you feel like you have to have a guy that can pay for everything at this particular point, Well, start hanging out in the places where the NFL guys hang out in. Don't and then deal with what comes along with that. So for me, I looked at that situation not as that's not the same as if you're gonna take me out, be willing to pay for me and make me feel. That's different. That's like I'm not gonna live up in no house where if I split rent, it's a roommate. Well, why? That doesn't make any sense. So only times when it gets to the extreme like that. And also, if somebody I once had a homeboy that bought his girl a gift. He bought her some shoes, and she got mad because the shoes weren't a specific type of shoe.
Okay.
If that happens to me, I'll take the shoes and burn them in your face, and you won't get no more shoes. If that, I told her straight up. I was like, you know what you should do? You should take the shoes out. You should put them on the balcony. You should put some kerosene on them, and you should burn the shoes.
Well, I did get my wife some Skechers, and she made me take them back.
But that's
mad.
I mean, that's on you.
That's a mistake that you honestly made.
And you still married?
That's on you.
But that tells about who Charles is.
Let's not go too far. That's on you. You should have known better than that.
Honestly, true.
Your wife.
She helped you. You should.
She learned you something.
She helped you.
Just for context, there's a Skechers store.
Ain't no context. Ain't no context.
If she didn't say go buy me Skechers,
I don't care if somebody gave you the Skechers.
Right.
Shout out to Skechers.
But that's the issue that I have with a lot of women in this time is the
yes, ma'am.
The expectation that they have amongst the pool that they search from.
Right.
It's like, they'll say, I can't find a good man, this and the third. And then you find out where they looking at, and it's like, well, one, you ain't gonna find that in that area.
Right.
Thugs come with a certain pedigree.
And brothers are the same way.
Yeah,
brothers are the same way. Like yeah,
right. You got to tell them, but
tell them.
We at least we're more honest with.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Like we could be more. You could tell me like Detroit. What did you think you was getting from her? And they be like, you know what? You're right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Once you lay out the facts.
You think that's what most men
no, I'm saying.
That they
y'all
come
might
to that.
say it sooner than us.
No.
But y'all will still probably look in that area a couple more times.
They will be with a woman that they don't want to be with for a long time.
A lot of people get
just because.
No. A lot of people get into that circumstance, but then we can come to the conclusion that this is us. Like, you know what? I erred in my ways. I got to get out of this, but I might be comfortable right now. It's not convenient for me.
Right.
That's a lot different. That's a lot different than trying to get somebody getting something out of somebody that they never were and mad because you can't find something that doesn't exist. That if it does exist, it's a needle in a haystack and it's not amongst the common people that's in there.
Right.
Like when what was the teachers lounge that people used to go to? That they used to go to, right? Teachers lounge, go right. Or whole teachers used to get together. Is that what it's called? Yeah, because the other, I think it's called Teachers Lounge in Beverly Hills. At home.
Oh.
At home.
Okay.
Yeah. And so a lot of people used to rave about the Teachers Lounge. I'm like, it's cool. They would talk about how the men were dressed up, this, that, and the third. They were professional. And I'm like, well, that's where you would go because that's where a lot of them go. You know what I'm saying? It's a lounge. You know what I'm saying? It's from a specific profession. So I'm like, that makes sense. You can't go across the street at the liquor store and then find that dude, get that dude's number, and then expect him to go and dress up in a suit when he comes to get you, or that's not what he is. But you're constantly complaining about that, and you're not going to get anything from that.
Once again, like when I can't remember, I'm pretty sure it's Maya Angelou. I can't remember. Believe what people show you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and
when somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Believe them. Believe what people show you, man. Believe what people show you. Now, that's not to say, because it's not binary, right? That's not to say that's not to say that people don't grow up. I've seen dudes.
People evolve.
There's one guy, one of my homies. He knows when he listens to this, who I'm talking about. I thought that it was impossible. This dude had more women than I've ever. He just has a natural way with women. I remember before he got married, I was his best man. I was like, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be interesting. And he goes, no, it's over. And I'm like, nah, it's not over. Didn't believe it. Didn't believe it. Like, nah, it's not over. And it really was. For some reason, he found a woman that unlocked that thing, and I should have known it. The reason why I should have known it is because he used to be really, really hard on females. And one day she came home. They were living together mad late, and he wasn't upset. He was worried. He wasn't up like he was like, bro. I wonder if she's never done this before, bro. And I was like, it's 4:30. You not mad? He's like, nah, man. Like, bro, where is that?
Yeah.
Like,
he's already past
and
that
then,
whole.
Then she came home. I never forget this. We in there. We playing Madden because he wouldn't let me leave till she got back because he was too upset. He came home. We run outside. He's like, baby, where you been? Where you been? She gets out. She throws up.
Ooh.
And I'm thinking, I'm getting excited because I'm like, yo, she about to get it now. Like now we really about to get a good argument. He picks her up, carries her inside the house, comes back out there, and cleans that puke up.
Wow.
And I should have known right then that it was different.
Yeah, that's life right
there. That it was different. He was like, all right, bro, she cool. You can go home. I'm like, so now I'm just going to drive home. It's 5:30 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But he really was changed. So people do change. But for the most part,
I can change.
Yeah, like for the most part, if you can't see someone making an effort to do right by you, then just do right by yourself, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always agreed that the right woman will change any man.
That's true. There's some truth to that.
Yeah.
There's some truth to that.
You see a lot of NFL players that just stop. Bam. When we had Keith on the show, you know what I'm saying, he was talking about the married women that he had. And it's like
NFL players, when they get the right white girl.
Right.
Light skin.
When they get the right Latina.
Or culturally ambiguous, as I like to call them.
Hey, let's hit us with a break.
A little light on the side. But yeah, we're talking about a lot of things that will humble us. Kendrick Lamar. Be humble. Sit down. Hold us. Cue us up. Yeah.
All's my life I has to fight, nigga. All's my life nigga, we gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
Alright, y'all. I think we definitely back. Is it alright? Is it okay if I ask Van a couple sports questions, y'all? Is that
TMZ Sports,
man. Shout out to TMZ Sports.
TMZ Sports weeknights on FS1, man.
Breaking news. And in the sports world, but like sports and like pop culture and things like that, everything kind of combined. Mm-hmm. So what's the deal with these finals? Shout out to the Warriors.
Whoop, whoop.
Shout out to the Oakland Warriors. So what do you think?
East Oakland Warriors.
Yeah, the deep East Oakland Warriors. And the A's. Shout out. But what do you think about these finals? Like, it's kind of crazy watching these right now.
I think two things. Number one, I think that we don't overreact to what happened in the first couple of games. Like, don't overreact.
But how do you not, like, I mean,
we're from Oakland. We're going to overreact every time.
What is it? Yeah, but I'm saying, what would be an overreaction? Like, an overreaction would be they're going to sweep.
An overreaction is Kevin Durant's the best player in the world. Jalen Rose said overreaction is it's going to be, 2 blowouts in Cleveland. Listen, I don't think that the Cavs have what it takes to be able to win the series. But their Cavs are going to be better at home. Yeah. And people should be ready for at least 1 or 2 close games when they get back to Cleveland. The Cavs are going to be better at home. Now, if they're not better, it
won't be an overreaction.
By Wednesday,
it would be overreaction if they're not better. Because let's be honest with you,
because the way the KD's playing, I'm sorry, cut you off, but the way KD's playing, I'm just seeing it, and it's the most amazing. I mean, to see him go against LeBron the way he's going, I'm like, damn.
Yes, they have to take LeBron James off Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
if they don't roll some help to LeBron, or then the games are going to continue to go like this. LeBron James can't guard Kevin Durant.
Well, I think they're over. The way they need him to play.
And play the way they need to play on offense. Yeah,
I think they're overreacting. Period. I think they can play a normal scheme because they've played well for the most part these past games on Steph, Draymond, and Clay. Kevin Durant is not going to go for 70. He's not, but he may go for 40. So if he goes for 40 and you eliminate everybody else, then that's fine.
How are you going to do that?
Yeah, you can't just. But you just don't eliminate those guys.
Yeah. But here's what I'm saying. They trap a lot. They trap and recover a lot. Whatever, and they play help. First, to your point, he needs to get off. He needs to get off him because he's better at a rover at this stage in his career because he is older and he has been doing it longer. But if they play their normal scheme where they trap and recover,
you're one pass away from an open three.
That's fine, but
it's not fine.
Okay, no, because I'm saying take the
you can't trap Golden State.
You can't. They shoot the ball too well.
No, but here's the overreaction.
Right.
First off, do whatever it is you do that allows you to be physical. Last year they trapped and recovered to Harrison Barnes. This year,
that's now Kevin Durant.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So now,
that's a whole different.
So now you make that guy Draymond, or all I'm saying is you pick one and stick to it.
They kind of try to do that with Zaza. I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But Zaza, they try to.
All I'm saying is pick one and then recover and do what you normally do, because trying to play man on everythody.
It's gonna be a mismatch.
And just switch, it's nothing you can do about it because you don't have enough defenders.
Okay. So to me,
and they need to shoot twos.
They need to shoot twos. They need to shoot twos. So here's the one thing. There's two huge things to me that are different from last year's finals. Number one, Steph Curry's healthy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Everybody who got hurt last year is healthy.
You guys, Steph Curry's healthy.
He's the exact same person he was last year
in the finals.
This year,
there's absolutely no way
they lost Draymond
He's
last year to the game. Didn't Iguodala get hurt in the game?
He is so obviously.
Did you see what he did to LeBron?
No. He doubled.
He doubled. He doubled. He doubled.
That was too good.
He doubled. They showed it.
Damn, he doubled.
They showed it, and
it was a great move.
LeBron saw it. The only problem is nobody else could see it.
Right,
it was a fake. He kind of faked it.
No, he doubled. He put both hands on the ball.
But this is why I say there's no. In my opinion, there's no way that you could watch last year's finals and watch this year's finals and think that Steph Curry was healthy.
Oh no, I can prove it to you.
How?
Because guess what? Because if I go and I'm about to fight this dude without any of y'all, right?
Uh huh.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My confidence is it ain't the same. All right. Now I come and I got all y'all. Now it don't matter. I can swing freely and I'm gonna do what I got to do. That's one. Two.
Last year he had 73-win team with him.
Okay, but against them they were neutralized. Again,
they were not. Are you kidding me? You're not watching the game.
We're talking about Steph. Steph was neutralized, not them. Steph was neutralized.
He was neutralized because he was not at 100%.
Did you realize what happened in Portland? He wasn't healthy.
But Steph is driving into the lane on them. Steph is penetrating last year, which he was not doing last year because he did not have the quickness that he needed.
Penetrated.
Okay, move to your second point.
He penetrated last year.
Way better.
This is barbershop. I love this.
I think he's healthy, and to me the argument is not involved.
So now his stat line without free throws last night in the first half was what?
It was he was shooting poorly.
It was 3 for 9, and it wasn't until the game got out of hand, virtually into the third, which it has been for the Cavs, which is carried by Durant, which is why I said.
You guys, do you know what the scary thing is about the game that happened that we just watched? They actually missed a lot of shots that they normally make.
Right.
There was times when that game was about when they were up 10. 11,
they
7,
had a
9,
3-minute drought
where they were 1 or 2 threes away from daggering them early that they did. The problem was the Cavs couldn't score.
That's what I said because they were trying to play their game.
The Cavs couldn't score, but so I'm not going to deny the fact that Steph, once they got rolling, Steph got hot, but that's what shooters do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he also got in rhythm because he was driving the basketball.
But I think the fact that you got KD there carrying through that drive allows you to do that. But look, if somehow
to a degree, yeah. But Klay was making shots last night. Klay was making shots in the last game.
But to me,
let's also be clear that they're just a good team offensively and defensively.
Yeah,
the offense doesn't win
they have too
games.
many weapons.
Let me tell you something else.
Defense wins games. Offense sells tickets. Shout out to Love Basketball.
I gotta say this, and no one agrees with me on this. They're also playing harder than the Cavs.
Oh no!
They are scrapping and they are chasing.
Fundamentally sound.
The first game was indicative.
Did you see how hard LeBron was breathing in the third?
He was like,
but LeBron is playing with just like
LeBron's having triple. But the first game was every loose ball. When I saw Steph Curry 2 times that I've seen has gotten 2 rebounds. Jumping rebounds
in traffic,
and
over guys that are bigger and taller than him.
Anybody would tell you rebounds are about effort. You know what I'm saying?
And
that's attitude.
There are parts in that game to where guys are getting down the lane, and not to harp on them, but Kyrie is out like hugging Draymond Green at the 3-point line and not helping to contain drives. Like on that drive on LeBron should have never happened. And do you know why it shouldn't have happened? Because Kevin Love shouldn't have allowed it to happen.
Yeah,
he drove past Kevin Love.
He wanted. That's what he's talking about.
He make a pass.
He wanted him to. He was thinking that because LeBron is on him and he's on Zaza, he was thinking that he was going to dish it to Zaza.
If you're playing fundamentally sound, smart basketball, help. That's your position. He was supposed to be in position. He was in position to help.
With the ball than have Steph Curry.
So
with
you're
the
saying
ball?
traps him when he goes.
I'm
saying help on him.
I'm saying
show on him.
I'm saying once he's beat, you got to stop that drive
and then make him.
give
it to Zaza.
And which goes back to my original point. They're switching playing man, staying on the perimeter, and everybody's having an easy way to the lane. To me, there's one way. This is how the Cavs beat Golden State. You understand once you understand the psyche of somebody, then
how they beat them when last year.
No, I'm saying this is how they.
Referees.
This is the only way they have a chance now.
Fouls.
First off, shoot twos, go inside. LeBron, you're Shaq. Kevin Love,
politics.
you be big.
Who's gonna bring the ball up?
Kyrie needs to be. But you know what? LeBron can do it. Here's what I'm saying. They need to shoot more twos than threes. You're a 2-point shooting team that can shoot threes.
They have made
more threes.
They are.
Okay.
They shoot.
I think the biggest point is Golden State is simply playing together as a team.
We shoot from half court.
I got you. Beating the Cavs. They will never shoot threes better than they shoot threes. Never. So
if they miss some threes, they're going to lose.
Right. So you need to shoot twos, go inside, and work outside from that.
So because playing through who?
LeBron and K Love.
So here's the deal. Well, they can't if they try to win the game playing through Love, they'll get swept. But so if you put LeBron in the post and you take away his playmaking opportunities,
they don't have to go to the post. He can do what he did in the first half. If he continues that, then that's going to allow them to collapse and we'll get into foul trouble. As long as here's the thing that we know about how NBA refs ref the game versus stars. Everybody on Golden State is a star attraction. You know what I'm saying? So
let's not forget about Draymond Green.
Yeah,
that include everybody. So look, everybody on Golden State is a star attraction. So if it's going to be a foul, it's going to be a foul earned because you're not just going to get a frivolous foul because they don't have a lot of.
They've been calling frivolous fouls on Dre. Dre's been in foul trouble every single game.
Yeah, but
last year.
But that's just about it.
But we're not going to talk about that.
But you got to go and get it. You know what I'm saying? So shooting the petty fouls that Cleveland gets, you're not going to get that because they're laden with stars. Right. So you have to go strong and work outside because they had 20 turnovers and it still didn't do nothing because they didn't score off those turnovers. Cleveland shot 10 or 15 more shots than Golden State. They shot 89. Cleveland shot 100, but they shot more threes than they did too. And you don't have those snipers, but you have the ability. You can go inside at a higher rate and stronger than what they can, and that'll break them down.
They can go inside. They can. I feel like they can play inside.
That's just to make it close.
They feel like they try. I feel like they tried to feature Kevin Love. Here's the problem. The problem with all of that is that you miss. They're running. You're in transition.
And the bigs down there ain't even across the court.
And something else. They are so unselfish. There's no way. Like it would be one thing. Like KD is maybe the best ISO scorer we've seen since Kobe at his prime and in his peak, right?
I definitely think he is.
Yeah. So, but when he sees a cutter, he's giving the ball up. That's insane. There's no way. Like
nobody of that level, nobody of that tier is doing that.
Right. It's weird. It's like. I've been on a basketball court before with a team that was athletically superior than the other team, but when that ball gets to moving around like that, you get frustrated.
You can't catch it.
Yeah, so what Cleveland's got to get? Cleveland's got to be a little dirty. They got to make the game a little physical. They got to grab. They got to hold. They got to get in these guys' heads. If not.
And understand.
Can we switch gears real quick? I just wanted to get your thoughts on before we go, Lonzo Ball and the Ball family.
So happy you asked me about this.
Okay, cool. So I just want to get some of your thoughts on that.
Couple things. First things. Do you remember the interview where LeVar Ball said that his son was better than Steph Curry?
Yeah.
Have you heard that interview a lot?
Yeah.
That's me asking him that question.
Okay.
So
shout out.
Shout out to that question.
So
what'd you ask him?
I asked him. I saw this video on YouTube, and the video said that Lonzo Ball was a 6'5" Steph Curry with athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked him straight up, very innocuously, just a throwaway question, just like, yo, do you think that your son can be as good as Steph Curry? He said, no, my son's going to be better than Steph Curry.
Wow. That was a sound. That's rang the world.
Let me tell you something about this man. I think that I want Lonzo Ball to succeed more than any other professional athlete that I've ever come to. I can't express to you how much, because
where do you want him to go?
It doesn't matter, but I want him to come to. I want him to average 95 points and 45 assists.
Anywhere he goes.
Anywhere that he goes.
For the Clippers.
I'm saying, do you think he should go to the Lakers?
He probably will get drafted to the Lakers. There's some talk that the Lakers are maybe going to draft Josh Jackson now, but I just want him to be a success, and I'll tell you why. This whole situation with them, I'm about to get a little in the weeds here, really tells me something about human nature, because human beings have to struggle so much to be great, right? We have to struggle so much. Society doesn't want you to be great. Society wants you to be a consumer. They want you to be another person, like punching the clock. But by the same token, we only respect people that don't do that. Mm-hmm. So when you have the Ball family come along, two things get me. One about LeVar. LeVar is maniacal about his sons, right? Mm-hmm. And it's obvious if you talk to the kids.
Narcissistic.
The kids are completely well-adjusted. They're having so much fun, and I've spoken with them. Okay. They're having so much fun. They are in that interview where I was talking about Melo. Melo comes into the interview, and you can tell he's just so elated to be on television. He's calling me sir. They're very respectful. They're good students and all of that. He's a good father.
So why does he get so much flack?
He's abrasive.
There's a couple things why. Number one is because he's unapologetic. He likes the spotlight. And number two, and then number three is because he's black.
Mm-hmm.
And
full of hyperbole too.
And he's full of hyperbole, and some of this stuff is way too much. But the reason why I say that is because LeVar Ball comes out and he says, "Yo, I don't want to be an employee of a shoe company. I want to have my own shoe company. I want somebody to partner with me." Let's say that that's a ridiculous idea. Let's say that idea is so beyond the pale. Right? You know what else was a ridiculous idea? For a person to have their own computer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like when Apple was first getting popping, they thought it was totally stupid for a person. What does a person need with a computer? Steve Jobs goes, you know what? One day, everybody's going to have a computer. Mm-hmm. And he goes, not only are they going to have computers, they're going to have little bitty computers that go inside of their pockets where you can do everything on it. Okay? And if that doesn't work out, and it never ever happens, who cares? But what if it does work?
Then it changes the world.
Then it changes the world.
Right. Yeah.
So to me, if you don't like LeVar Ball because he said he could be Michael Jordan in a one-on-one basketball game, if you don't like LeVar Ball because you think that he's over-involved in or coming up, all fair criticisms. But if you don't like LeVar Ball because LeVar Ball has refused the status quo,
right.
That tells you more about yourself than it does about LeVar Ball. If you don't like LeVar Ball and the Ball family because LeVar Ball believes in his son enough to think that he's worth $1 billion, you should look at yourself and ask you how much you think you're worth.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? Now, if it fails, cool. If this doesn't work, if the shoot thing doesn't work and Lonzo plays well, he can come back and get a deal with Nike. Nike ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
But if it does work,
you know how mad LeBron will be?
Yeah.
And I feel like he has a 1 in 3 chance because I feel like technically if he has one of his sons who potentially could be superstars, like if you have a superstar son and then you just got other sons that are just like kind of role players in the league, like that is just going to be a dynasty in itself. You know, because what I'm saying is in those scenarios, like you got Steph Curry and then you got Seth Curry.
Right.
Seth Curry is getting a lot of opportunities because of Steph. Because of Steph. Yeah. So Steph is a superstar, right? But the thing is
same thing with Lonzo. Like to a large degree, I mean Melo can go, but and Jello can too.
But they say Jello would be like a D2 really.
Jello might not be it now. That's not to say Jello can't play.
Jello can
Jello
he's shooting it from out there.
Jello can really play, but you know
he's a guard though.
It's a situation to where if you want Lonzo Ball and the other two kids want to commit to UCLA probably takes all three of them. But I get what you're saying. It's interesting to me how fearful people are of doing things differently, of taking a risk
and supporting black people. When he said if Gucci made it, you'd buy it. And if I had enough money to buy the shoe, I would, because he's black.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go buy Apple. I'm gonna go buy any other phone. I'm gonna go pay $300 for whatever, $200 from shoes that for some white person made or whatever, just because they said it's the same thing with Tidal. You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad. Jay-Z is like, well, you paying everything else for everything else. You know what I'm saying? So don't get mad at the fee when I'm paying you more to the cent to your dollar for your music.
And this is a fundamental issue that we have as a community. Like, it's a weird thing that all of our aspirations have to do with things that exist outside of our culture.
All right, so let's get your final thoughts. It's that time. Just in for the show, what you up to next? What you want to promote? This is send off.
A couple things we're doing. I have a book coming out.
Wow.
In a little while. I'm very excited about that. The book is about 15 things that are better in my life since I lost weight. And it's all kinds of crazy things that you guys wouldn't think. Stuff like shopping, oral sex, all that type of stuff. It's better when you're thinner. I'm just
so this is gonna be like a tell-all.
It's gonna be. There's a lot of stuff in there that's very, very personal. But more than anything, I just want to talk to people out there that are struggling with their weight and they can't see the other side of it. They can't see like what the end game is or how things change. Just want to give them some comedy to kind of get to that point. Also, we got a podcast coming. Charlamagne's involved. Some people over at the Loudspeaker Network are involved with that. We've been putting that together for a while. So it's a lot of things on the horizon right now. I got some TV shows and stuff that we're working on. So it's a good time.
Cool.
Well, you can shed light on a lot of things, and it helps if you want to shed pounds. But you don't have to do it, at one time. You could do it over a set of rounds. Be rigorous, be vehement, do what you got to do. Van, love that you did what you had to do. From Poetess, DJ Reed, Sugarfoot, I got you in there. Nice. My man, Dan Sunso, Akila Trinae, I'm down to Detroit. Van, love to have you. Poetess, Q, what's up? Yeah.
Did it.
That's fun, guys.